Hey guys, welcome to the latest episode of FinStacks. We have an alarming news coming this time for Microsoft. As reported by Windows Latest, Microsoft is advising users to discontinue the use of certain devices and recycle Windows 10 PCs that cannot be upgraded to Windows 11, as support for Windows 10 is set to end on October 14, 2025, potentially affecting an estimated 240 million PCs. Support for Windows 10 will officially end on October 14, 2025, marking a significant transition for millions of PC users worldwide. After this date, Microsoft will no longer provide free software updates, security patches, or technical support for the operating system. While computers running Windows 10 will continue to function, they will be at greater risk for viruses and malware due to the lack of ongoing security updates. Users are strongly advised to upgrade to a supported version of Windows or consider alternative options before the deadline to ensure continued protection and functionality of their devices. Let's listen to pros and cons of this decision by Microsoft.
Okay, so today we're diving into something that's probably got a lot of folks out there feeling a little bit stuck.
Definitely a tricky spot to be in.
Right, like you've got this perfectly good Windows 10 PC running all your stuff, and then bam,
Hits a wall.
Windows 11 comes along, and suddenly your trusty machine is, not quite so welcome in the future anymore.
Outdated. That's the feeling, right?
Yeah, and that brings up a lot of worries for people.
For sure. Like, what about security if I stick with Windows 10?
And nobody wants to just shell out for a whole new computer if they don't absolutely have to.
Especially these days?
Plus, let's be real, there's that whole nagging question of where all these old PCs are going to end up.
Oh, yeah, the e-waste situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in this deep dive, we're going to try to make sense of it all.
Sounds good.
We're looking at the options Microsoft's giving folks and really focusing on those worries about security, cost, the environment, all the stuff that's keeping people up at night.
Right, because let's face it, you bought your Windows 10 machine maybe a few years back. It's still chugging along, handles everything you need it to, and now you're being told it's, kind of on the way out.
Like yesterday's news.
Yeah, and that can make you feel anxious, like, are you going to be safe online? Do you really have to spend a ton of money on a new PC?
Right, so let's unpack what Microsoft is actually saying here.
Sure.
So, okay, their main suggestions seem to be kind of a 1-2 punch. First, they say, hey, recycle that old hardware responsibly.
Makes sense on the surface.
Yeah, and second, they point you toward these trade-in programs where maybe you can get some credit toward a new Windows 11 ready device.
Right, get some money off.
So, for someone just looking for the most straightforward solution, those are options, but maybe not the most appealing ones if you're watching your budget.
Absolutely. So for those folks who aren't quite ready to part ways with their PC just yet, there's another route Microsoft's offering.
Okay, what's that?
Extended security updates, or ESU.
Yes, you got it.
It'll run you about $30 for the first year for an individual user.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, and what it does is it keeps those crucial security patches coming for your Windows 10 system for a whole extra year.
Like a little extra time to breathe.
Exactly. You're not left high and dry. The minute official support ends, you've got that security blanket for a bit longer.
I see. So it's a temporary solution, but it gives you some breathing room.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, I think it's worth thinking about why we're even in this situation.
Yeah. Good point.
Microsoft is clearly really pushing for everyone to get on board with Windows 11.
Oh, yeah. All about the new shiny features.
Right. They're talking up all these advanced capabilities, and especially this new Copilot plus AI stuff.
Which they're saying needs the horsepower of newer hardware to run properly.
So basically, they're showing you where they're putting their focus and their resources going forward.
Yeah, they're betting big on the future and maybe not so much on supporting the past.
Right. And that brings us to the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Or maybe we should say the landfill in the room.
Oh, yeah, the e-waste.
If you've got potentially 240 million PCs out there that are suddenly unsupported, that's a huge potential problem.
Staggering numbers.
Like, we're talking about estimates of over 1 billion pounds of e-waste.
Can you even picture that?
I mean, that's like the weight of 320,000 cars.
Insane.
And that raises some big questions for all of us, right? What happens to all that stuff? Where does it go?
Yeah, because it's not just about upgrading to the latest and greatest. It's about what we leave behind.
And people are definitely starting to call out Microsoft on this. They're saying, hey, you need to take some responsibility for the environmental impact of your products.
Right, because it's a shared responsibility.
And to be fair to Microsoft, they are trying to address these concerns.
Right.
Like, they are offering those extended security updates so people have more time to decide what they want to do.
Yeah, giving people options.
and they're encouraging people to recycle their old devices properly. But it does feel like they're walking a bit of a tightrope,
Oh, for sure.
trying to balance this push for technological advancement with being responsible for the planet.
It's a tough one.
So let's break it down for our listeners who are trying to figure out what to do with their Windows 10 PC.
Sure.
It seems like your main options, according to Microsoft, are either look into recycling your current PC or see if you can trade it in for one that can run Windows 11.
Those are the more immediate solutions.
Right. Or you can think about paying for those extended security updates to give your Windows 10 machine a little more life and keep it safe for another year.
But whatever path you choose, you really have to keep the environmental impact in mind.
I mean, the sheer volume of tech that could end up as waste is a huge deal.
Yeah, it's a sobering thought.
So as you weigh your options, think about this, keeping your current PC running and secure versus what it means for the environment to upgrade to something new.
Because both sides have their own set of consequences.
What feels like the most responsible choice for you right now, that's the question we all have to grapple with.
Yeah, no easy answers.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into a really important topic.
You got it.